This is a guide on the Sentinax, and more specifically Nethershard farming. Now, the first thing I'm going to say with this is that you need a party of 5 people, and no greater than 5 people. Now, the reason because of this is that Blizzard have essentially added something to the actual mechanics of the game now, that once you surpass 5 people targeting the same mob, you no longer gain any benefit, including loot, from them. So this is the reason why you only want to be in a group of 5 people, because obviously if there's a 6th, then it's going to start screwing people on loot. Now, there's various beacons that you can get from the Sentinax. These include, I've got 4 of them I think at the moment. I'm just going to chuck them all in my action bar so it's easier to find. We have the Sentinax beacon of Greater Domination, which tells the Sentinax to empower the demonic portals in this area. Now, if I'm correct, that increases the caliber of mobs that spawn in the area. You also have the beacon of Bloodstrike, which essentially, I'm going to hover over the damn thing, commands the Sentinax to fire a Bloodstrike in your current location, unearthing Blood of Sargeras. Then we have the Sentinax beacon of Greater Engineering to tell the Sentinax to empower the demonic portals in this area, again similar to the first one. And finally, for what I have, Sentinax beacon of Petrification commands the Sentinax to fire a Petrum beam in your current location, turning everything in the area to fell slate. Now, I'll start actually DPSing before the group actually gets annoyed at me. Basically, there are a few other things in this that you can do as well, such as summon one of the Legion commanders. Now, I think you need one of the, if I remember rightly, not legendary, but epic items to do this. Once you have that, you can then issue a command to actually summon one. These creatures have about 300 million health, and I'm not sure if that's a baseline health, because it was kind of hard because everyone kind of just jumped on it the second it spawned. So it's very similar to a world boss. All it drops is Nethershards. So let's pull some of these guys down while we're at it. So yeah, so basically all you're going to get from it is Nethershards, but that's kind of the whole purpose of this, is just Nethershard farming. And obviously the reason you'd want a Nethershard farm is if you're not that great geared, or there's a piece of gear that you want to upgrade. Obviously if you get 5,000 Nethershard farms, you can you can turn that into a relinquished item, which is a base item level of 880, which, if I'm correct, can go up to and including, if I'm right about this, 940, but correct me if I'm wrong, because I believe it is. Titan Forge can be up to 60 plus item level increase. I might have misread that somewhere, but that's what I believe anyway. And there isn't really much to this apart from those sort of basic mechanics. Obviously the key thing is ensuring that you never exceed the party size. I think that's just the main principle of this. I was hoping to see one of... Oh, we have one here. We've had it here the whole bloody time. This is one of the world mobs, or world bosses, Skullgulth, or Gluth, whatever you want to call him. So this is a standard with every world boss. It has no limit on how many characters or how many people can attack it. This yields usually a couple hundred or potentially less nether shards than you traditionally expect. This is definitely the fastest way to do these sort of like farming points. I'm trying to think of other things that you could potentially suggest or do to actually improve this. I'm kind of lost really, because there's not really much to it. It is a bit of a grind. I know people do stick around for a while. The Sentinax can run out of power from time to time, so that's always something to be mindful of. And when it runs out of power, the portal stops spawning, and you basically don't get much from them, or anything to be honest. There we go. Portals have ran out of charge. And we have a few more little treats from this pile here. I usually notice there's a coincidence between the actual boss mob spawning, or the Fel Commander spawning, and the Sentinax running out of power. So it's always something to be mindful of. With that being said, that is pretty much the summation of the Nethershard farming and the Sentinax. I hope you found that somewhat useful and informative. I only gave you what basically I know about it, and I'll catch you next time.